Hey guys, how's it going? I thought I'd make another 10-minute trade update video on Tesla, ticker symbol obviously TSLA, because Tesla does have earnings coming up tomorrow. And the last time I made this 10-minute trades video was back in mid-October, about October 13th. So I thought now would be a good time as any to go ahead and update my technical analysis. So this is how we left that video. You can see we drew an overall trend line, some fib levels, some areas of support and resistance. I drew this purple line at 420 basically, because whether we like it or not, that probably is going to act as an area of support, which we saw today. But let's get right into it and let's make some edits, because initially I drew the Fibonacci retracement levels from the recent lows back in March to the recent highs back in early September, end of August. I think we should revamp this a little bit, because if we look at a lot of the price action here, it's pretty much all within this 0 to 23.6% Fibonacci level. So I think it's a little outdated. So let's go ahead and redraw some fib levels, and let's do it from the recent lows back on August 6th, and let's see how that turns out from about here. And then I will draw them to, again, the most recent highs back on early September. And let's see how that shakes out. So I think this is actually a little bit of a better fit of the data. You can see this 23.6% line topped out this candle here on August 27th, topped out some candles in the bottom of this candle here in end of September, topped out this candle on 1st of October, and bottomed out these candles on October 14th and 15th. So I'm really liking this updated fib retracement. For the time being also, just as a reminder, these are daily candles, so each candle represents one full day of trading. You can see Tesla has had 4 red days in a row, including today. This orange line represents the 21-day moving average, and the pink line represents the 50-day moving average. We drew this kind of overall green trend line just all the way dating back to, again, the recent lows back in mid-March. And as you can see, a few times we've been bouncing off above and below it. We bounced off it most recently on September 8th, pretty much again on September 24th. And it looks like we're kind of getting close to that range again, which this trend line is currently at around just shy of $400. So I am short-term bearish on Tesla. You can see if I zoom in here, this purple 420 line looks like we bounced right off it intraday. We did close a little bit above it, but the scary thing is that we closed below the 21-day moving average. You can see if I scroll out, for the past probably 2 or 3 trading weeks, we've traded above the 21-day MA and have bounced off it. We tried to bounce off it from yesterday and today, but we weren't able to do that. We closed below it. So I think the next area of support, if we blow below 2420, will probably be this 50-day moving average, which is going to be in probably the mid 410s or so. And then if that doesn't hold, I think 405-ish is going to be another area of support. You can see there's some candles here that it acted as support and resistance going back for the past few months. So I think our next area of support, like I said, is going to be the mid 410s, probably then 405-ish, and then this trend line, which probably will end up around $400. Now, like I said, tomorrow is earnings session right now. Let's see what Tesla did during the last earnings. That was all the way back on July 22nd. You see we had a pretty big red day after earnings. If we go back to another earnings session, that was going to be in April 29th, again, had a pretty big red candle after earnings. I'm going to assume that we're going to have another red day on Tesla. So I do think we will break below 420. I wouldn't be surprised if we go as low as 400 just tomorrow alone, just because Tesla is a very volatile stock. And if any ticker is going to drop $20 or so in one trading day, Tesla would be the one to do it. Now, Tesla's earnings are after hours, so it might not happen during the day tomorrow, but it might happen after hours trading between tomorrow and the following day. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Personally, I've once traded a cash secured put, or I should say a put credit spread on Tesla, which worked out well for me. I was able to collect max profit, but I will say Tesla is a little bit too rich for me in order to run the wheel on. And honestly, it's so volatile and it's such a pricey stock that it does scare me. The only way I would want to play Tesla personally is with spreads, because like I said, you define your max loss with spreads. Now, one way you could play this is if you believe, like I do, that we're going to be short-term bearish, you could play this with a call credit spread to the upside, hoping that Tesla does go down. Now, I know there might be a lot of rumors about car sales and things like that that might make Tesla have good earnings, but we still don't know. The past 2 earnings have showed us that Tesla sells off the day afterwards. And like I said, right now, we are trading further away from this trend line, and we broke past down below the 21 moving average. So I think we are short-term bearish in the next couple of days, even if earnings session wasn't tomorrow. That is really my updated technical analysis on Tesla. Let me know what you think. The more I look at it, I could probably draw another area of trend right around here, which is going to coincide with the 23.6% Fibonacci level. We have a few minutes left in this 10-minute trade video, so why don't we do another update on another ticker like Space, which has really been hot in the news lately because this coming weeks we have the first of 2 FAA test flights that are going to happen so that Virgin Galactic can secure regulation or approval so they can have regular space flights. You can see we've had this big run up over the past few weeks now, ever since this gap up from September 25th to September 28th. We've been on an upward trend here. I could draw a trend line that maybe looks something like this. So we might have a little bit of a pullback short term the next 2 trading days or so, closer to this trend line, but you can see we are in an overall upward trend, and we don't have earnings coming up until November 5th. We are trading well above the 21 and 50-day moving averages, so that also concerns me a little bit that we might have a little bit of a pullback because space may be a tad bit overvalued right now, and the RSI curve supports that. It's getting very close to overbought territory. So I would expect a little bit of a pullback. You can see intraday today, we got all the way as high as 24 when I drew this area of resistance a while back. So we kind of proved that that's resistance. You can see we did not hold that position. We ended up closing well below at just shy, or a little over, I should say, $23 after hours in trading right now. There's also this 23.6% Fibonacci level, but I think I might redo these fib retracements again for the same reason as Tesla, because it's been quite some time. We initially drew them from the recent lows all the way back in March. So let's go ahead and update this, maybe from the recent lows back on early September 4th, to our recent highs today, and see what that gets us. So that's going to look something a little bit like this, and that does seem to fit our trading data pretty well. You can see this trend line correlates perfectly with the 61.8% Fibonacci level. This trend line also correlates very well with the 38.2% Fibonacci level. This one here at about 21, high $21, 22 is pretty much very close to the 23.6% Fibonacci level. So I do think, at least in the short term, we have a pullback, or we will have a pullback to about $22. That would coincide with the fib level, very close to this area of trend, and also this upward trend line that I've drawn. And like I said, it will be a little bit of a pullback closer to the 21 and 50-day moving averages. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on space. Like I said, this coming week, they have a big catalyst with the first of their test flights. So if that goes well, then we might see space blast off and try and break above this resistance at 24. We'll have to see if it sticks, because our recent highs for the past year, roughly, before the illness, or I should say after the illness, we're back on July 23rd at just shy of $28. I don't know if it can get there quickly, maybe more in the midterm. We will retest those recent highs, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So that was my quick update video on Tesla and also on Space Virgin Galactic. I currently don't have any positions in either of these 2 tickers, but I kind of wish I held on to my shares on Virgin Galactic, but I had them called away a few weeks ago. Let me know if you have any positions open or if you own shares of either of these 2 tickers. Let me know if you plan on playing earnings on Tesla. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you agree or disagree with my technical analysis, leave it below, and happy trading.